Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy is brought to you in part by Tom's Place, the finest in men's fashion. Located in Toronto at 190 Baldwin Street, in the heart of Kensington Market. Or visit toms-place.com. It's everything you never needed to know. This is Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
What was the name of the young man who at the age of 5 designed his mother's wedding dress?
Ooh.
Doesn't make sense, does it?
It doesn't, but then again, what does in this show? Which came first, the button or the buttonhole? Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Roy, and this week we scoured the internet to find out these totally useless tidbits just for you.
Plus, we'll answer your question in the mailbag segment. This week, is there such a thing as a super recognizer? And in the news, emergency responders got called to a scene that blew up in their face.
Totally useless information. It's everything you never needed to know.
And blew up is the key point to that story.
Welcome to the Totally Useless Information Fashion Show.
Welcome to the show. Yes, 90 plus countries around the world. At which point do we stop counting? Do you remember the McDonald's signs when it would say 2 billion served, 3 billion served?
Nick, I can't even name 90 countries, and we're in 90
right.
of them.
So
Okay,
so eventually, the McDonald's signs, instead of giving an exact number, they just say billions and billions served around the world. So
Yeah,
now
right.
we have listeners upon listeners around the world, including North America on the iHeartRadio Talk Network. Is that better?
No, it's millions of people listening to this show. We're so humbled, folks.
We are.
Thank you.
And you know what? I'm not going to wait any longer. I'm going to right off the bat. I just can't. I can't hold on to this any longer. My tease.
What is it?
My tease.
Do you have to go to the bathroom?
No, not that. No.
I thought you needed. Yeah,
I do appreciate that question given our age. Yes, but no.
Mm-hmm.
I wait till 3:00 in the morning for that. Which came first, the button or the buttonhole?
Yeah, this is a good one.
It is.
People want to know, Nick.
Buttons were used for decorative and functional purposes long before buttonholes were even invented to secure clothing. Buttons have been found in archaeological sites dating back 5,000 years.
You know, I bet you somebody put a button on there for fashion and got a little hole on the other side,
Right.
and then they just buttoned it up.
That's right.
And they were like, this is great.
Well, it took them a long time because buttonholes for fastening clothing only appeared around the 13th century in Europe.
Yeah, it sounds like Nick in high school. He was a button just walking around looking for a buttonhole.
Right. And sometimes the buttons were on the other side.
That's a story for another day.
Totally. That's a story for my doctor, my psychiatrist, my priest, my lawyer,
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right, you gave your tease. I'll give mine right away.
Okay, all right, good.
Because it's very confusing. Because at age 5, this young man designed his mother's wedding dress, right? It doesn't make sense. How could the 5-year-old, it's his mother, right?
Yeah.
Well, we understand it's a second marriage.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
so this 5-year-old designs and makes his mother's wedding dress.
Oh,
He would, of course, become an amazing designer.
okay.
How could he not? He's a savant, right? He's 5.
Yes.
His name was Michael Kors.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Michael Kors designed his mom's wedding dress at the age of 5.
Of course, those of you in the audience who have had 5-year-olds or still do, who knows, the pictures that they draw, I wonder what it looked like. Maybe the dress was beautiful, but his mother looked like a stick figure in that wedding dress with distorted faces and everything.
My wife still says sometimes, stop acting like a 5-year-old.
Yeah, tall order. Good luck with that. Here's a 5-finger fact. In the Middle Ages, gloves were indeed a status symbol, particularly in contrast to mittens. Wealthy individuals and those in positions of authority often wore gloves with the 5 fingers, while lower classes, like peasants, typically wore mittens. 5-finger fact.
Women wear white wedding dresses, right?
Yeah,
for weddings.
of course.
And black
Yeah.
and black for funerals.
Yeah, don't they?
Okay. In China, because I guess it's the other side of the world, the other side of the earth from us,
Right.
they do things backwards. They wear black to weddings.
Really?
And they wear white to funerals to show purity.
That's interesting.
We
Okay.
show purity in weddings.
Right.
The Chinese show purity at funerals.
I mean, black being for funerals, okay, but black for weddings, think about it. Depending on how your wedding goes, your marriage goes, it could very well be like a funeral.
Most are.
Yeah. Yeah. We've survived living wakes for the past 40 years.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, at my wedding, all you heard was "Toot, toot," because it was a train wreck.
Oh, I see.
No.
Wow. And who was the conductor?
42 years, folks.
Wow. God bless.
I got
Imagine.
42 years in.
You know what we should do? We should do an anniversary message for you.
I think
like
I'll
you do.
keep her at this point.
Oh, well, but you still have the receipt? That's right. When Roy ordered a mail order bride, he took it to heart. All right. So, what a beautiful day for a cardigan. What a beautiful day for a cardigan. Cardigans. Now that's a theme from Mr.
Made
Rogers' Neighborhood.
famous, yeah,
of course.
Mr. Rogers.
Well, cardigans were part of the British military attire, specifically as a knitted waistcoat worn by officers during the Crimean War. The garment is named after James Brundnell, the 7th Earl of, all together now, Cardigan.
Oh,
A British
cool.
Army Major General who led the charge of the Light Brigade. His preference for wearing a knitted waistcoat or under his uniform, which was reportedly inspired by a desire for warmth without restricting movement, led to the development of the modern-day cardigan we know today.
In 1849, Nick,
Yes.
you remember that?
I do. I was 5.
A man named Walter Hunt, he was involved in the fashion industry. He was so tired of getting stuck by straight pins and watching the other people getting stuck by straight pins and probably getting blood all over the garment because they'd stick themselves, right?
Right?
He said, there's got to be a better way. So he bent a few of them up and invented the safety pin.
Well. The next.
So that's Walter Hunt.
I'll tell you though. Now it's interesting because I have the exact same fact, but for Inventions,
No.
which is next, right? So
Okay.
we'll keep your fact as
Okay.
a fashion statement, or for fashion here, which by the way is brought to you in part by Tom's Place. So that's interesting. So you have that as a fashion thing. So I'll talk a little bit more about the safety pin and Inventions coming up next.
Cool.
I'll totally use this information with Nick.
I
and
thought
Roy.
it was kind of weird, right? Because it was almost an invention.
Yeah, exactly. An invention in fashion.
Yeah,
But So
yeah.
how about this? How about a moving fashion trend? In the late 1800s and the early 1900s, some people.
You were there, Nick.
I was there, yeah, exactly, with my safety prick. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, some people, particularly women, wore live chameleons as brooches.
They changed color?
Yeah. They would pin, I guess it depends on what you're wearing. I don't know. They would pin the lizard.
That is so cool.
to
Why not? You buy one chameleon, you get all different colors.
That's right. A chameleon, where you can wear a chameleon the colors with it. Right.
But wait a minute. That's not fair because the chameleon, let's say he wore a black shirt, he
Right.
becomes black. You can't see the chameleon anymore.
See, that's the idea. Not bad.
Ah.
So if you're wearing a black wedding dress and you have a black chameleon on it, you never know it's there.
Mm,
Okay.
yeah.
They would pin the lizards to their clothing as a unique and fashion accessory, you would think.
How'd they pin them and keep them alive?
I don't know, but maybe in such a way where you can
Maybe
pin
they had
them.
little collars on them.
Maybe they did. Like a French cut collar or something, right?
We need to get to the bottom of this.
These living jewelry trends also included other small animals, not just chameleons.
No, they're wearing animals.
like
now.
beetles and fireflies. Well, fireflies make sense because this way you can see where you're going. It's
They
like
light up.
Right, they light up.
I've heard of women having fox, like the whole fox fur with the head and everything on,
Right. Yeah.
Draped around them like a stole,
Yeah.
like a fox stole.
Not sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's cruel.
Children, Nick.
Yes.
Children. Speaking of childish mentality,
On totally useless information with Nick and Roy.
children wore the same clothing as their parents. Now, I know that doesn't sound, but think about it now.
Okay, yeah.
Mom was probably just making the pants and
Right.
clothes and dresses.
Right.
So if mom made a dress for herself, she used the same material, made a dress for the kid.
Right.
And vice versa. If it was a boy, she made pants for dad, black pants for the kid.
Right.
So parents and children dressed exactly the same. It's not until the mid 1500s that people, I guess, start making maybe a little more money and a little more city life and a little more fashion oriented, but they begin to make child's clothing and changing it and making the cutesy little dress for the babies and
Yeah.
But before that, whatever the material was, they made, so they wore the same exact clothes.
It was more cost effective, right? You had to, right? Maybe people didn't have a lot of money because they were making their own clothes, so it makes a lot of
Remember
sense.
we had that fact where during the Depression, people were using the potato bags because they had colorful like things on them, and the women made dresses out of potato sacks.
Yeah, and now they're a fashion trend.
Yeah, now it's a fashion trend. Nick puts them over his head, which I appreciate.
Well, not
when I rob a bank, I need one.
Right?
Too.
Yeah, exactly.
Except where the colorful thing is, I cut 2 little eye holes.
Right? Yeah, because we can see it. We can see right through them.
I'm like, put the money in the bag and just call me Mr. Potato Head.
Right. So, one other recommendation when you are wearing a potato sack dress, make sure you take the potatoes out of the bag first before you wear them.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes, that's a prerequisite. Yes.
This Bud's for you.
And don't fall down because then you're mashed potato.
Can you do the mashed potato? Here's one thing you can do. You go to nickandroy.com and you can check out the Nick and Roy store. You can order yourself or for your loved one a birthday message or an anniversary message. We perform this show for the birthday recipient.
It's made specifically for the date, year, and so on of the recipient, for anniversaries, for birthdays, and so on. But it's such a cool, customized show for that person, and you're going to look like a superstar, trust me.
Nick and Roy will continue with totally useless information. Totally useless information with Nick and Roy continues. Listen, laugh, and learn. Innovations, ideas. The Totally Useless Information Podcast presents Inventions.
So since you already talked about the safety pin in the fashion segment, we'll talk about the safety pin in the invention segment here.
Right.
This one I call safety prick.
Mm-hmm.
It was invented in 1849 by Walter Hunt. That's the same guy you were talking about.
Yeah.
Wow. So here's the thing, though. He was an American mechanic and inventor who created it to pay off a $15 debt. So he patented the design.
So what I read was that, well, okay, go ahead. Well, he must have gotten pricked by straight pins. Have you ever undone a man's shirt with straight pins?
Oh, yeah. It hurts.
Isn't it terrible?
It is. And then there's
It's
blood
so
on the
archaic.
collar. It is. No, it's barbaric.
And somebody's got to call Tom because all of his shirts have the straight pins, man. They are the full-blown straight pins with the collar things. I mean, they're awesome shirts.
It's a new slogan for Tom's Place. Come on in, all pricks do. Anyway, so so he's an American mechanic and inventor. He created it to pay off a $15 debt. He patented the design, which included a coil spring. You could just picture it now, or if you have a safety pin in front of you, and a clasp to cover the sharp point. And he sold the rights for this invention for $400. That's it. Despite the invention's widespread use and commercial success for others, Walter Hunt did not profit from his invention.
Well, $400 in the 1800s was probably about, I don't know, 6,000 maybe. Still was nothing.
Yeah, but at the time, he gave up the rights. He sold the rights for it. So if he's kept the rights, yeah, exactly. Talk about pricking himself with a safety pin, right?
He pricked himself as right.
He did. So yeah, there you go. All right.
Well, Nick, you use the computer to type your stuff down. I use a pen. I am one of those people that write everything by hand. I wrote an entire movie screenplay by hand.
Wow. Okay.
And then we had this girl that was like doing all the continuity and stuff.
Yeah.
And she said, "Are you serious? This is a handwritten script." I said, "I know." She said, "I have to type this whole thing out now." I
What?
said, "That's your job."
Yeah. Is that why I call it a manuscript? You manually
Yeah,
wrote it?
yeah.
That's right.
Well, anyway, so I'm sitting here writing, and I said, "Inventions. Who invented writing?"
Oh, okay. There you
Ah,
go.
right?
I like
Okay,
it.
so I was like, now I'm thinking, now I'm cooking with Earl.
Yeah, and he says hello.
So, the Sumerians of Mesopotamia, and I even got the year 3200 before Christ.
Wow.
Before that, they were chiseling stuff into stone, but the actual written word, the actual like a full written word,
Right.
not just a symbol, because there were symbols and stones and cave paintings and things like that, but the actual written word, Mesopotamians, Sumerians of Mesopotamia, 3200 BC.
Wow.
Cool.
It is. So, this invention I really had to look up because there's some prank inventions out there. While I was doing research for the show here on Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy, we're doing inventions. There was this thing called the barbecue. So I thought, and basically, you hook up this contraption to the exhaust pipe of your vehicle. You turn on the vehicle, and from the heat from the exhaust will grill a hamburger. Okay, so
No.
and I'm like, so thankfully, it's just a prank. All right. Now, then I look this up, and it's not a prank. It's available at Amazon.
For real?
It's an exhaust air jack. The jack is a precision tool that has the capability to lift the vehicle to enable extraction from a stuck situation
What?
from anywhere, using only the exhaust fumes from the vehicle.
But wouldn't a car conk out?
I don't know. I'm just reading what the invention is. Maybe they figured all that out. It will safely lift your vehicle up in seconds.
Could you imagine how many people have bought this and they have Teslas?
Air jacks use the vehicle's own exhaust to inflate the jack body.
Oh, back to this.
Well, yeah. Well, listen. The air jack can be inflated by the air compressors. Operating, by the way, in case you want to purchase one of these, the operating instructions are included, and a heavy-duty storage bag for easy storage is also included.
With the length of this fact, I could have attached the hose to Nick's mouth and he could have jacked the car up.
You could have jacked up a whole fleet of cars. The exhaust air jack here.
Hey, where's that car? Oh, it's up at the space station now. Nick's on his third flight.
No. They invented
Mine will take a few seconds,
Right.
folks. So I was writing down
Yes.
all of my facts, and then I said to myself, well, that was interesting about the writing. What about the paper that I'm writing
All
on?
right, there you go.
Because there was written words on tablets, chiseled into tablets.
Right.
But when was paper invented? Well, I did some extensive research and found out the Chinese were in the forefront by using silk.
Okay.
Silks were rather flat, but they were also slightly heavier than paper, so it would be hard to write a whole book. But they could write like banners and things like that on silk, so that became something to do. But they ended up figuring out how to make paper in 1005 before Christ.
Wow.
And it was the Chinese who figured out how to pulverize bamboo into pulp and make paper. By the way, before that, they were writing on bamboo reeds that they would peel, but again, was too heavy. So it's the Chinese inventing true paper in 105 BC.
So you said, what did you say? What was the first line that you said? The Chinese are on the forefront? You said the Chinese were in the forefront. Before that, they were in the three front. Me and my shoebrella, Ella. There's a shoebrella.
A shoebrella.
A shoebrella. Literally stand under your umbrella. We have all now that one pair of shoes that you simply can't get wet, like maybe suede shoes, right?
Well, you buy a pair of Louboutins. You don't want to get them wet. They're $1,000.
So here's what you do. You buy these tiny parasols that strap onto your leg, and then the little umbrella pops up, and it keeps your feet dry. It's extra protection with miniature umbrellas for your precious kicks.
Okay, so before we started the show, I was playing the keyboards for Nick.
Yes, he was.
So who invented the modern piano?
Oh, okay.
Who figured out I'm going to take this harp, turn it sideways, and put these little hammers in there to
Right.
hit the strings and make the sound?
Yeah.
Pretty interesting, right? I mean, pretty complicated. There's dampers, there's strikers. I mean, the whole system of the key movement is, I mean, this was an undertaking. This guy, Bartholomew Cristofori,
Okay.
in 1700, invents the first legitimate real piano, meaning full-blown piano.
Okay.
So 1700, I would have thought it was before that.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's not.
Well, I believe you're thinking of the harpsichord, right? It didn't have the same sort of.
No, I think the harpsichord comes after. But I'm
Okay.
telling you, I mean, before that, they had violins and this and that. They didn't have pianos. They had stringed instruments.
Wow.
But not full-blown pianos. So Bartholomew Cristofori. Bartholomew
Okay.
Cristofori.
Yes.
1700s.
Have I got the invention for you now? Even if you don't own pets and you're walking around and you see pets and you see their ugly butts, okay? Have I got an invention for you? Introducing the fancy pet butt. This is not exactly a plug for this invention. Keep your pets on.
No pun intended.
Listen,
plug.
This is not a plug for this invention. Keep your pets unsightly rear end looking as clean and cute as the rest of the furry body with the pet butthole cover.
Ooh.
These fashionable covers mask your pet's butthole with more visually pleasing images that is sure to provide some laughs and some privacy as you walk your pet in public.
Nick and Roy will continue with totally useless information. To access the full library of episodes, visit nickandroy.com. That's nickandroy.com.
Nick and Roy for Tom's Place. Hi, where can you beat the heat? With hot deals at Toronto's best destination for designer menswear and unbeatable prices. It's Tom's Place, and he's clearing out their entire summer inventory, and that means massive savings for you.
Like select designer suits that normally retail for $650. Get ready, folks. $350.
Wow.
Or pick 3 for only $950. Beautiful sport jackets are only $259. And get this, designer casual and dress pants reduced down, get ready, $70.
Wow, that's when Roy wears pants. For the perfect look at a wedding, a job interview, or a night out, Tom's Place has you covered from head to toe. Suits, casual wear, shoes, and accessories. Find a perfect addition to your wardrobe and look your absolute best.
Everything is on clearance to make way for fall merchandise at blowout prices that won't last long.
The very best designer menswear is found at Tom's Place, open daily at 190 Baldwin Street in Kensington Market in Toronto. Tom's Place will suit you.
We're back with totally useless information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
Spencer Silver.
Yes.
Kind of nice name with alliteration. Spencer Silver was working for the 3M company.
Right.
And he wasn't really a well-known scientist for them. And he was working on these high-intensity adhesives.
Right.
And he invented this adhesive that was really bad. It didn't have any strength at all.
Oh.
Okay. It was extremely weak. So his colleague, Art Fry, another cool name, Art Fry,
right.
Arthur Fry.
Yeah, okay.
He said, this is terrible, this adhesive. It doesn't really do anything. So he put it on paper and stuck the paper to the wall and then pulled the paper right off and stuck it back on the wall again.
Post-it
and
notes?
pulled it off. And he said, this is fantastic. Post-it
notes. Oh, that's so cool.
1968, Spencer Silver makes 3M billions of dollars.
Over something he screwed up on.
he screwed up on
Yeah.
a weak adhesive that he made. It was
Wow.
so weak that you could pull it on, pull it off, pull it on, pull it off. Another girl I dated in high school.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And she wore a yellow dress. You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. By the way, let's go back to the birthday messages for a second and anniversary messages.
Yes.
For every order of the birthday or anniversary message, you will receive our monthly newsletter. Also, the person that you're sending the messages to will also receive a complimentary edition of the Totally Useless VIP newsletter.
They get 12 months, right?
They get 12 months. It's amazing. So go to
No,
Nick.
the newsletter is great.
It
folks.
is. It is. If
It really is. It's great.
In fact,
it's great. The Toronto staff does an amazing job on the newsletter. It's really good. You guys are gonna love it.
She says hello. To sign up to get yours, go to nickandroy.com.
Hey, oh, you, where's your hard hat? Fasten your tool belts. This is totally useless construction info with foreman Nick and Roy. Come on, let's go!
You know, I could see her wearing that hard hat and
Just the hard hat and the tool belt.
and the tool belt.
And construction boots.
All right,
and that wraps up the show. Thank you.
Thank you very much for listening, and thank you very much. And please call your local lawyer. Okay, milking it for all it's worth. Ancient builders incorporated different.
Were they just old while they were building, or they're ancient builders building
many
years
ago? Many years ago. Once upon a time, there were these builders, and they incorporated unusual ingredients in order to make mortar. Right, for the mixes and to build.
Are you going to say bird poop?
No. Cows.
Okay, go ahead.
Cow's blood and beer.
Whoa, because I heard there's a bridge in like France where the guy put bird poop into the concrete mixture, and the bridge is like brand new. Oh. It's the strongest concrete they've ever encountered. I'll get you the information on it at another show.
Okay, well,
go ahead.
That is interesting.
This is blood,
cow's blood, and beer.
And beer.
These additions, while seemingly strange, were believed to enhance the mortar's properties, contributing to its durability and longevity.
They're like, it's the red house over there, the one that's all crooked.
That's right. So, milking it for all it's worth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it turned the concrete red.
Possibly. Maybe it matched with the red bricks. Who knows? But apparently they thought way back then that before the
Cow's
technology.
blood and beer.
Yeah, exactly. They're still sticking around. Yeah.
Cool. So I was doing this research, right? Because I know that Nick and I have been to Italy.
Yes.
Okay. And in Italy, you were at the Colosseum, correct?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Amazing, right?
Yes.
Now, I'm not a big fan of Rome, but you got to go, folks, because you got to stand in front of this thing and go, holy mackerel.
Yeah, it was just amazing. Amazing
The
structure.
Trevi Fountain is just amazing.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's just cool stuff. But
Yes.
I started looking and I'm seeing these things, at the baseball game, there's 60,000 people. There's 54,000 people, and it's like we talk about that, right?
Yeah.
The Roman Colosseum built in 80 AD.
Yeah.
That's 80 years after Jesus roamed this earth.
That's right.
Held over 80,000 people seated.
Wow.
That means there could have been 100,000 people in there.
Possibly. So
Right.
This was when? When was this? What year?
80 AD.
Which is 80
About
years.
a year or so before you were born.
No, 80, no, 80 years after who roamed the earth?
Christ.
Yeah. Of course, he had season tickets to the Coliseum.
He was a little late for that.
Yeah, just a bit.
But I'm sure he was watching.
He
so
was. Yeah,
it
he
doesn't
was.
matter.
Yeah.
He had the best seat in the house.
He had a private box. He had right, exactly. Okay, so we've heard the expression, when someone works really hard or they're always constantly working. It's like a hamster and a hamster wheel, right? Remember that expression? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So how about this? Some medieval cranes were powered by
The bird?
No, human. The burp is the burp.
The burp is bird.
Some medieval cranes were powered by humans walking inside large hamster wheel-like structures.
Oh, to lift the crane.
They were known as treadwheel cranes, and they
Sure,
were
because it was probably geared up so that it couldn't go the other way.
right. So this was a crucial piece of technology for lifting heavy materials during the constructions of castles, cathedrals, and other structures.
Sure.
The human power was used to turn a large wheel, which in turn operated pulleys and ropes to lift the load.
Wow.
Crazy.
See that's cool stuff.
Yeah, they
See
have to
that stuff interests me.
Yeah.
What person had the insight to just sit there and go,
Walk here, come here, walk in this. Just
there's
keep walking.
gotta be an easier way.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, you over here. Come over here. Just like the voice lady in the intro. Hey, you, come here. Hey.
Yeah, you see this gun? Start running and lift that block up.
Yeah.
He's got all these
Exactly.
criminals running on a treadmill.
Yeah.
Okay, we spoke about the Great Wall of China.
Yes.
We said that it could be seen from space.
Yes.
We also know that it began building in the 7th century before Christ,
Right. Okay.
which in itself is amazing.
It is.
It took many centuries to finish. Okay, but do you know how long it is?
The Wall of China, Big Wall of China, how long it is?
Yes. Being that we're not in China, we can get it wrong and they wouldn't even say anything. But no, but 13,000 miles.
No. Really?
That's insane. 13,000 miles. Nick, if I started in my car right now in 1,500 miles, I'll be up to your house.
Okay, but hold on. So, how long?
13,000. So basically, how many years, Nick?
2,300 years.
So our staff has come up with the actual numbers. 2,300 years.
Yeah, it is.
This is centuries.
Yeah, and by the way,
No,
staff,
this is decades. Excuse me, decades.
decades.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
hold on.
No, centuries. Excuse me, centuries.
But generations, not just like but generations. Think about it.
The Chinese don't give up.
No,
They're in it
they
for the
don't.
long game.
They are. Exactly.
2,300 years.
Some things never change. Talk about another iconic piece of structure, the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Been there. How about you?
No, I have never been, actually, to be honest.
Oh.
Interesting. I should check it out. Now, this didn't take as long as the Great Wall of China, but
No.
it took 199 years to build the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Yeah. They had to stop because it was all screwed up. And
Well, yes, the lengthy process was due to a combination of factors, including the tower's initial lean, wars, and financial constraints.
especially in Italy, because they go on strike every Friday.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
They
It's
go
a
back
national
on Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly.
So, the Sagrada Familia,
Yes. Same deal.
Barcelona. You been?
Right. No, I haven't.
You have not?
No.
Oh, listen. This is a cool thing.
Yes.
It's built by this guy named Gaudi.
Okay.
Okay. He was a designer, architect, artist. I mean, this guy was the Renaissance man, you know?
Yeah.
In 1882, he says, I have this plan for this amazing cathedral like none other ever. It is so ornate. It started in 1882. They're still constructing it today using Gaudi's plans.
Oh.
They have no actual finish date. They're not even sure when. But you have to see it to even understand it. And not to mention, it's such a tourist attraction.
Nick and Roy will continue with totally useless information. You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
What's in the mailbag? What's in the mail?
So this is a mailbag from a guy named John from Toronto. Dear Nick and Roy, I am a huge supporter of your show. I find your facts fascinating and your presentation of the useless information entertaining. Okay, thank you. Here's my question. I heard about how some people are really good at recognizing faces. Is this true? I hope so, as I'm really bad when it comes to recognizing faces of people that I have already met. Are you that way? Like when you meet somebody, never mind remembering their name. That's a whole other issue, whether or not you remember their name.
I will never forget their face.
Okay.
But I will never remember their name.
It's just
I am
one of those things.
completely visual.
Okay. So maybe you could experience this. It's called super recognizers. These are individuals with an exceptional ability to recognize faces even after a brief or infrequent encounter. So it's not like you sit there and you're staring at somebody's face. It could be one of those things where you see them and it makes an impression on you, like you said, very visual, maybe for 5 or 10 seconds even. They can memorize and recall thousands of faces, sometimes after only seeing them once, and can recognize these people that they haven't seen in decades. Now, this ability, these super recognizers, this ability is largely genetic and it cannot be acquired by any training. Super recognizers can be valuable to various fields, including law enforcement and security, due to their ability to identify individuals from closed-circuit footage or other challenging situations.
Wow.
So there you go.
Yeah. I'll tell you, my visual memory is insane. I can remember things when I was a kid visually.
Wow. Okay.
You know, what people were wearing, the room, the colors. And I'm colorblind, and I can remember the colors. That's the sick part. I just put it back together again exactly the way I saw what I saw. Just really wild.
Oh,
yeah.
It is.
So,
wow. What do you got in your mailbag?
Madeline.
Yes.
From Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Ah, yes.
She says, a friend got me hooked on your amazing show.
Yes.
Now my boyfriend and other family members are hooked as well.
Oh, nice.
We had a useless July 4th party.
No. Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
The picnic consisted of using facts from your show, and we had such a great time. It's amazing how much you have touched our lives with this useless information. We want to thank you, Madeline from Hershey, Pennsylvania. Cool. They had a party, a totally useless party.
You know what? What a brilliant idea. I just came up with this idea. Thanks to Madeline. So when do we have this sort of totally useless information themed party with our faces all over the the plastic tablecloth, and they can play the pin the tail on the ass, which is Nick and Roy, right? So something like that. But really, seriously, it's like you have all kinds of useless information napkins that has all kinds of information on it. You can have
make them wipe their faces with it.
That's right, absolutely.
Right, exactly, right.
Their faces of chocolate.
Or pick up the dog poop
cake.
From the...
Right, exactly. On the show today, we talked about construction, we talked about fashion, we talked about inventions. It's time for the news.
And now, from around the corner and around the world, this is TUI News.
A 911 call was sent in about a person trapped in the rushing water of a canal in Fresno, California.
Fresno, California.
Fresno, California.
Okay.
It led the police and firefighters and other emergency responders to go near McKinley and Peach Avenues. So those of you who are listening in California.
The corner of McKinley and Peach.
Yes.
There's a canal there.
There is. There was a report of a person, possibly deceased, that was trapped against a grate by the rushing water. They arrived to find what initially appeared to be a body. Authorities alerted the irrigation district to investigate further.
They thought it was great.
No, it wasn't, because they saw what appeared to be a body along the grate.
But it was trapped against the grate?
Along the rushing water.
The Russian water. So this is in USSR.
No, it's in Fresno.
Oh, Fresno, California.
You're right,
I'm sorry. I'll stick with you now.
What was it initially appeared to be a body? It was a life-size blow-up sex doll.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
So somebody threw the sex doll in the canal?
That's right. They did.
And it got stuck against the grate.
That is correct.
With the rushing water.
That's right. And so
they thought it was a dead body.
Well, because when the I guess it was still inflated.
Right, inflated probably was one of those lifelike ones.
Yes.
That had the hair and everything.
Yeah. What, you seem to know a lot.
So
you've heard.
No, I've investigated this for the show, Nick.
Exactly. In fact, you're wearing the same wig. Anyway, so these poor people who call 911 frantically thinking, oh my gosh, there's a dead body, but it was nothing more than a life-size blow-up sex doll.
Well, and who jumped? I want to know who the firefighter or policeman was that jumped in there and started giving it CPR.
That's right.
You know,
Mount to
because
mount.
God only knows where that. It's California. God only knows where that rubber device has been.
Or hasn't been, right?
Yeah, I know. I'd have that thing tested.
So here's the thing.
Was
Now,
it blonde? I mean, what? I mean,
We
really?
don't have the description of the alleged. I don't know if it's alleged.
So they threw the doll in
Yeah.
the canal
Yes.
on Pickle Street and
No, not pickles. Hold on. Get your vegetables right. It was
Okay.
McKinley and peach. It was a fruit.
McKinley and peach.
Yeah.
So they
Now-
threw this
Right.
peach into the canal.
Okay.
So they threw the doll.
Now hold on. Wait. Wait.
Gets worse.
Police in New Zealand responded to a similar situation when a woman walking her dog near the beach spotted what appeared to be a headless body of a woman washed up on the sand.
There's a serial doll killer.
Police arrived on the scene and discovered the apparent corpse was actually a realistic adult toy, as they put it in this story.
Somewhere along the line, somebody rubber let them down. Okay. This person's upset. They're taking it out on every single blow up doll in the industry.
And you know what? I figured it's in New Zealand. It must have been shaped like a lamb, right?
Like a lamb.
Like a lamb,
You
right?
think- yeah, because they're used to that there.
No,
Any
because,
side effects to that, Nick?
nah, no, because doesn't some great lamb come from New Zealand?
Oh, New Zealand spring lambs.
Spring lamb, yeah. Okay,
You know, they jump up and down a lot. They're springy.
right,
you know?
yeah. It doesn't say.
So are the blow-up dolls, you know. Sometimes you got to hold them down, you know?
And so you've heard.
They're
Yes.
like the balloons that you put on the table. You put the rocks on them and you tie the string to them. I do that with the blow-up dolls all the
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
Because I fill them up with helium so
Yeah.
they stand up straight.
Right, because you always want your blow-up sex doll to have proper posture.
You don't want to have to prop them up. You know, that just, it doesn't make it real. You want them to be floating around a little bit,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. You know, it should be floating around us because we're done. We are this. That's all the time we
So
have.
now I got to start searching the canals for these poor dolls. They're
That's right.
mistreated dolls.
You know what? I think it was called the birth canal. I'm not sure the name of the canal, but
Canal on Hotchkins and Pickle Street, California. They do all kinds of crazy.
oh, they
stuff,
do.
so
They do. Yeah.
You
exactly.
can't fault them for
No,
it.
you can't. But at least someone did call 911. But that's all the time that we have for this episode of Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. We will scour the internet far and wide to find more totally useless information just for you.
And until then, send all of your unwanted blow-up dolls to Nick.
I knew that was coming.
Believe me, Nick already has a pump. He uses that hot air pump that he pumps the cars up. He blows those dolls right up. Well, until then, folks, you
yes.
tell everyone that you know about this crazy show. And we thank you, and we thank everybody, and thank you for your emails.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Roy.
Thanks for listening.
Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy is recorded and produced in Canada. For more totally useless information, visit nickandroy.com. That's nickandroy.com. Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy has been brought to you in part by Tom's Place, the finest in men's fashion. Located in Toronto at 190 Baldwin Street in the heart of Kensington Market. Or visit toms-place.com.